Coming up tonight on our News Live at 7, stuck inside. Floodwaters around New Providence leave many residents trapped in their homes as supplies run low and anxieties run high. Our Bethany McDermott is live in one community where floodwaters have kept them cut off from everyday life. This as the government tries to manage the aftermath of this latest weather system. The Disaster Risk Management Authority holding a news conference today. We've got the highlights and the areas of focus in the recovery. The Teachers Union sounds the alarm over the number of students using artificial intelligence to do their homework. Educators noticing a sudden change in writing style, identifying ChatGPT as the source. What's being done to detect it? And then in our news at 7:30, we're back with post-storm coverage as the Prime Minister and a few government ministers go into the flood-ravaged Pinewood community today to get a first-hand look at the damage there. But these residents are no strangers to this problem. They've been plagued with flooding for decades. Stay tuned. Our News Live at 7 starts now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our News Live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Jerome Sawyer, sitting in for Condino Knowles. Flood waters kept many New Providence trapped inside their homes and communities for a second straight day. Roads are impassable and still too dangerous to navigate for many vehicles. Well, our Bethany McDermott visited a community in the West today, managing to get a truck ride to speak with some who are still stuck at home. Bethany is live in that community tonight. Bethany, I can see literally you are still in the midst of all of that water. What else can you tell us tonight?
That's right, Jerome. We're still standing in the midst of all the water. Unfortunately, while the water has not flowed into my boots, it's very near to that point, and I'm about 5'11", Jerome. We're standing at the entrance of Propol Track, and since we've been standing here this evening preparing for this newscast tonight, we've already seen a vehicle stall out and a man forced to push his car out of the water after trying to come through this corner. Unfortunately, that's been the situation for many, and for those who didn't attempt, they've been stuck in their homes through this corner. We managed to catch up with a few of them today who says they're just waiting for the waters to go down. It's been 2 days since Imelda passed over New Providence, and there is still evidence of communities struggling, trying to manage the ongoing impact. Our visit to Propol Track revealed water levels up to our knees. We hitched a ride on the back of this truck that took us to a home at the end of the corner. Tanya Penn says they've been trapped here since Saturday with no help. Besides former MP Travis Robinson, who has now been named the FNM's candidate for the area, she says he's been to check on them a few times.
My son actually had to walk through the water, him and my nephew, to go to any outside shop and walk back. Actually, right now, they just walked out to get through the water, to get something from the store and walk back. Everyone that tried to get in, they said they had to turn back around because the water was over their hoods.
Andrea Moxie describes it as by far the worst she's seen in the 7 years she's lived here. Her family has also been trapped in their apartment since Saturday.
This is day 3, basically, of being inside. He's starting to lose his mind too, so we're just hoping that eventually we'll be able to walk at least the path.
Fortunately, Moxie says she's stocked up on supplies, but she fears they may soon run out.
I'm thinking maybe Friday. Friday we may just have to thug it out and leave.
Meanwhile, Robinson and his team have been making their way through the area since the all clear was given. He used the opportunity to call on government for more action.
So I have residents who are without water, running water, without electricity to be able to bathe, to go to work. People right now, as we speak, are still trapped in their homes throughout Fort Charlotte community, particularly the Propol Track area, the Grove West area. And so we have been reaching out to the Ministry of Works and other relevant agencies to redouble their efforts in Fort Charlotte to be able to bring immediate relief to the people.
Now, Jerome, we've seen contractors from the Ministry of Works out here pumping water from the canal just on Saunders Beach into the water. But as from what they told us, that will take a while. That means residents of this area and the surrounding area who's currently facing severe flooding issues will have to go another night and hope that tomorrow things improve. Jerome?
Thank you very much, Berthany McDermott. Hope you get out of that water soon and dry out. Some great reporting there today. Thank you so much. Well, the Disaster Risk Management Authority back at the microphone today in a second post-storm news conference within 24 hours. And with many residents still trapped in their homes and in some cases with no electricity, State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Leon Lundy, says government is working on a permanent solution through a multi-governmental approach.
I know part of what was already done was seen in the downtown area. That's why most of the water receded already. So we're actually going to enhance that by trying to push the water in a certain direction and have it stored. That's where the water will evaporate a lot more faster. But we're going to do that throughout the entire country. That's where we use that as a model initially.
Now, Lundy telling today's news conference the Water and Sewage Corporation is helping with flood remediation. DRM Managing Director Aaron Sargent also talking about support for flood victims in communities like the Grove West, Paul Tract and others.
Primarily, that's tarpaulin. That has been a major request from a lot of residents. We've received a number of calls. We've distributed before the storm a number of tarpaulin. As it relates to the flooding, that has to recede along with the efforts of Ministry of Works and the pumping of that. A part of the challenge is in most densely populated areas, there's no runoff or the ability to discard that additional water that's on the ground.
Just hours earlier, Prime Minister Philip Davis spoke at a DRM press conference where he addressed the widespread flooding, first announcing the Ministry of Works' deployment of 12 pumps to assist with those flood waters.
Our landmass is porous, limestone. Water comes up and our water table is very low. You could have drainage in certain areas that helps the water go off quicker than ordinarily. But when you have such, because of what's happening now with climate change, with rising sea levels, that means water comes up. You could drill holes and you could bring some relief, but not sufficient relief to bring immediate relief. Hence, you have pump trucks out as we speak, pulling off the water.
Now stay with our news at 7:30. Our Talia Hall is back up with a lot more news and updates on that flooding situation. We shift gears now and move on to some court news where a teen suspect is behind bars tonight after police made a breakthrough in their investigation into a mass shooting that left 2 men dead on August 9th. The 16-year-old boy appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley facing 2 counts of murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. The team, whose name is being withheld because he's a minor, didn't have to enter a plea to the charges and was denied bail. The teen makes his next court appearance on December 10th. Prosecutors say the minor took part in a shooting in Ridgeland Park that claimed the lives of Eden Louis and Macintastantil. The victims were outside a home on Roberta Drive around 2 p.m. when 2 gunmen emerged from a silver Nissan Cube and shot them. The Bahamas Union of Teachers is sounding the alarm over the growing use of ChatGPT by students. Union President Belinda Wilson says the teachers have been spotting signs of AI, especially in language arts homework. She says educators quickly noticed the change in writing style and in response have started using AI detection tools to figure out when assignments are done with ChatGPT.
What they also noted too is that it is possibly used more when they have homework. So when they come back with an assignment that is their homework that's completed, they realize that, hey, the vocabulary, the structure, these ideas seem to be different from the child's normal communication in the classroom.
Now, Wilson says ChatGPT, much like Google, can be a helpful tool to retrieve information, but she's advising students to use it responsibly, adding that the government should already have a policy in place to guide its use in schools.
I can say to you, the Ministry of Education or no official from the Ministry of Education has ever even mentioned AI to me as the union leader. And teachers have not said that they've had any communication or interaction about AI, although we know that it is out there and it's prevalent. So what I would have expected is that the Ministry of Education would have initiated the discussion with me and other union leaders and teachers who were in the classroom.
Time now for your first look at temperatures on the outside. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, things have quieted down significantly on the outside. Of course, we're still in the, the busy season of the hurricane season, so people are happy for now, but certainly still looking ahead.
Yeah, Melda is gone. We still have some rain bands affecting the extreme northern islands, but the breeze has kept us a little on the comfortable side. And of course, as you mentioned, we are in the peak of the season, so not time to let your guards down. We still have quite a bit of the season to go. 86 degrees outside our studios with a few passing clouds, and as I mentioned, breezy conditions. West winds at 17 miles per hour, and they are gusting high at times. Feels like temperature is at 92. Temperatures right now around the Family of Islands, all in the low to mid 80s, 85 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Alistown, Bimini, 84. Nickel, San Andros, 85 there, 83s, Great Harbor, Keith, Berry Isles, Marshall, Abaco, over in Governor's Harbor, 86. Central Bahamas, 85. That's in Kemps Bay, Georgetown, Port Nelson, and in Deadman's Key. Also in Coopin Townsend, Salvador, Black Point, Exuma, 88, 86 in Arthurstown, Cat Island, into the Southeast Bahamas, 85s. Once again, Duncantown, Ragged Island. Actually, the entire Southeast Bahamas, with the exception of Matthewtown, Inagua, the temperature right now is at 86. Satellite radar composite, we still have the remnants of, the trailing moisture or rain bands affecting the extreme northern islands, Grand Bahama, and as well as the Abacos, and of course Imelda, which is basically moving quickly towards the east-northeast and away from us. That system will continue to stay basically off course and headed towards Bermuda, and those guys up there will have to watch this one very closely. It's expected to become a Cat 2 storm over the next day or so. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
A new youth basketball team gets ready to roll out. The Bankers hit the links, and our baseball team plays down in Panama. We got all that coming up on Our Sports at 7 p.m.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio, or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Good evening, I'm Tage Adderley, and this is Our Sports at 7. The Island Basketball League recently announced their ambitious plans to revive the sport at the youth level in the country. The league announced that its pilot season will begin in early October. Founded by Jarrell Mullings and led by Mullings and Manny Adderley with support from the Bahamas Basketball Federation, the goal of the league is to teach basketball fundamentals and life skills. And we'll have more on that in the coming days. Now we head over to the links where the bankers got in on the action on Saturday. Rain cut the event short, but not before a team from Global Sun Integration Systems Management took the trophy, with Fidelity coming second and another Global Sun team claiming third place. Prizes were also awarded for longest drive and closest to the pin. And finally, the Bahamas national baseball team was back in action in Panama. Team Bahamas lost their second straight game in the Pan Am U23 pre-qualifier in Panama, falling 7-2 to the USVI. Keshawn Conliffe scored on a single by Zachary Gibson, and Jaden Cartwright scored on a fielder's choice. And we'll get into all these stories and more coming up on Our Sports at 7:30.
When we come back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as world leaders express cautious optimism over President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan. Plus, 3 people were killed and 38 remain missing after an Islamic boarding school collapses in Indonesia. Cuba's president backs the Chinese on a global governance initiative. We've got the details when our news returns.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with the Rev and the live fiber on channel 747 and 748.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court apartment complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. U.S. President Donald Trump's peace plan was met with cautious optimism from leaders across the world, but others were more skeptical about the proposal and whether Hamas would welcome it. Trump said Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu agreed to back a U.S.-sponsored Gaza peace proposal to end a nearly 2-year-old war in the Palestinian enclave. Alex Cohen reports.
At least we're at a minimum very, very close, and I think we're beyond very close.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had agreed to back a U.S.-sponsored Gaza peace deal. The agreement includes a ceasefire of the 2-year-old war in Gaza and the release of hostages held by Hamas.
If accepted by Hamas, this proposal calls for the release of all remaining hostages immediately, but in no case more than 72 hours.
An official with Hamas said after the announcement that it has not received the written plan.
I support your plan to end the war in Gaza, which achieves our war aims. It will bring back to Israel all our hostages, dismantle Hamas's military capabilities and its political rule, and ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel.
Netanyahu made his fourth visit to the White House since Trump returned to office in January. The right-wing Israeli leader was looking to shore up his country's most important relationship after a slew of Western leaders formally embraced Palestinian statehood last week in defiance of the U.S. and Israel. Trump, who sharply criticized the moves as a prize for Hamas, was seeking Netanyahu's agreement despite Israel's misgivings on parts of the plan.
At least 3 people were killed and 38 remain missing after an Islamic boarding school collapsed in Indonesia. The incident took place as hundreds of students gathered for prayers and rescue teams rushed to save dozens of students still trapped under the rubble of a collapsed prayer hall at the Kuzi Islamic boarding school. The National Disaster Mitigation Agency said that a total of 102 people were rescued following the collapse. One of the rescued victims later died. At least 77 people were injured during that incident. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel voicing strong backing for Chinese President Xi Jinping's Global Governance Initiative, calling it a trustworthy framework for improving global order. Xi's proposal on the Global Governance Initiative on September 1st while chairing the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Plus meeting in North China. The event marked the largest summit in the SCO's 24-year history. It was also attended by leaders from over 20 countries and 10 international organizations. The CGI is Xi's fourth major international initiative. It advocates for more than just equitable global governance. Still to come on our news, Today in History, find out interesting facts about the day that was September 30th. And then in our news at 7:30, our Joshua Williams goes into the flood-ravaged Pinewood community. But this is nothing new for these residents who have endured decades of floods with no real relief. Plus, Prime Minister Philip Davis doubling down and insisting his administration will not allow Haitian nationals to enter the Bahamas for the purpose of applying for visas. That's coming up when our news returns. Chicken love.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt into Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well as sports coverage?
We're talking exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, major announcement, everything you actually care about.
Nice. I love the sound of that. So this is like VIP access.
And we are back on this day in Bahamian history on September 30th, 2000 at the Games of the 27th Olympiad in Sydney, Australia. The Bahamas won the gold medal in the women's 4x1 meter relay. Also, 12 years later, 2012, Marco Archer's family pushed for action 1 year after the abduction of the 11-year-old boy. And in 2021, demolition began on the Churchill Building, the historic site where weekly cabinet meetings were once held. For more on the day that was, September 30th, be sure and visit ournews.bs. Well, finally, Alive Business is strengthening its footprint in the corporate community through a new partnership with Access Co-worker Suites located at the One West Business Park on Windsor Field Road. The collaboration places Alive's high-speed internet and business solutions directly into the shared workspace, creating what executives describe as a digital-first environment for entrepreneurs, startups, and established companies. Head of B2B sales at Alive Business, Chantel Sand, says the partnership goes well beyond simple connectivity.
We are about helping the small and medium businesses in the market. We are about innovation. This hub, the co-work suites is about innovation. It brought something new to the Bahamas. And so we are busy about being innovative, about digitizing businesses around the Bahamas. And we thought it fitting, outside of providing bundle options for businesses, because naturally when you come in here, it's more than internet. We are now able to provide business phone lines, cloud solutions, cybersecurity tools. Outside of the business component and revenue generating, it's about community growth.
Well, the move enhances the mission to provide not only flexible offices and boardrooms, but also a thriving business community. Managing Director Levan Wilson says Alive's technology will give members the competitive edge they need in an increasingly digital marketplace.
It's about giving businesses, from startups to corporate companies, the tools to scale. And Alive Business Solutions meet our members where they are and grow with them. So together, Alive and Access are creating smarter workspaces, hosting joint events, and driving a digital-first ecosystem that supports entrepreneurs, creators, and professionals. So, but most importantly, this collaboration is about impact. By combining physical spaces with digital infrastructure, we're helping position the Bahamas as a true hub for innovation, remote work, and global connectivity.
All right, sounds like a wonderful initiative. Well, that's going to do it for that story. And to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, be sure and visit ournews.bs. That does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now at Talia Hall. I can't even get your name right tonight.
Right, Drew. Get it right. I know we had a long day.
It's been a long day. Listen, I just want to say I love shared workspaces. I think it's a wonderful idea. Have you ever worked in one?
I have not.
No, it's a really cool concept, but it doesn't work for news. I'm just putting it out there.
All right. Thanks so much, Jerome. And coming up, Grand Bahama spared from Tropical Storm Imelda. We speak with some East End residents straight ahead. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, days after Tropical Storm Imelda drenched New Providence, floodwaters remain across parts of Pinewood Gardens. Joshua Williams was on the ground and joins us live with what residents are facing tonight. Also, Abaco residents are breathing a sigh of relief tonight after Tropical Storm Imelda spared the Northern Island from serious damage. Plus, over in Grand Bahama, residents in East End are happy after being spared from the storm. We take you to the community that was under an evacuation order. And later, Prime Minister Philip Davis standing firm, saying Haitian nationals won't be allowed entry to apply for U.S. visas despite a new American policy that takes effect November 1st. The story when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
look so down. Set them all cold and flu. Could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all gonna deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu. Daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Every season creates an opportunity for you to enjoy the comfort and security of your most valuable assets. Unfortunately, termites are common and very unwanted guests that never stop eating. With Struckum, you can enjoy the peace of mind as we protect your investment with our 3-year fumigation warranty. Struckum, #1 in pest control services.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, so let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. Days after Tropical Storm Imelda dumped heavy rain across New Providence, several feet of water still remain in pockets of the Pinewood Gardens community. The area, already a flood-prone area, was hit by heavy showers that created a nightmare situation for residents. Our Joshua Williams waded his way through the South New Providence community this morning, where he spoke with residents. He's live in studio tonight, fresh from the flood waters. Josh, what can you tell us?
Well, Natalia, I was in that community earlier today, and it was honestly such a sad situation to see. Residents have obviously had to endure this for decades now, but I met 2 of them who had interesting stories to tell. While most of us returned to work today, many in Pinewood Gardens community are still stuck in their homes due to high flood waters. Tropical Storm Imelda dumping inches of rain. I headed to the community where I spoke to the impacted residents. I met residents walking in knee-high water. My cameraman and I also waded through the flood waters where we met Kilo Smith, a truck driver who was sweeping water out of his home. He invited us inside and the damage was evident. Furniture, equipment and appliances destroyed. Videos from before show the water was around 5 to 6 inches high in his home. He tells me, however, he's still grateful as he picks up the pieces.
I mean, it's happened before, so it wasn't a surprise, but it's definitely deflating and, yeah, it's tough. Just trying to pass the time because I couldn't, like I say, miss work yesterday, sent the videos and stuff to my manager, and yeah, he told me to take as much time as I need till I get some normalcy.
I continued my walk where I met the outgoing deputy chairman of the International Commission for Disabled Persons, Kendrick Roll, who's blind. He also invited us into his home, and what we saw was heart-wrenching. Water damage all around the floor, parts of the roof sinking in. Here you can even see where a portion of it collapsed onto a bed.
Most of the home is sheetrock, so with the high water levels rising, the sheetrock tore away because there was a water sat for over 24 hours. And of course, you could see what happened with the roof. And so throughout the house, it was just a lot of flooding, and we're just drying it up now. The yard was full every time cars drive by and push water into the house. It was difficult to get it out.
Now I'm through one of the side corners just off of Sabadilla Boulevard. As you can see, the water is nearly up to my knees. I'm about 5'9", and residents say this is something they've been dealing with for years now. Water coming up through their floor. They're not sure if it's a spring tide, the king tide, but they say now they're fed up.
Land is low-lying, just above sea level. So once water rises or it rains for a long period of time, then you would expect water to come up in your home.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams. And as you'll see later on this evening, the Prime Minister, along with cabinet members, touring some of these flooded areas. Pumping trucks also present to remove a lot of that water. They say it's over 350,000 gallons pumped so far. Hopefully soon residents will be able to return to their normal lives. Talia.
Josh, such a sad situation, but I hope that they get it sorted out soon. Thanks so much, Josh. Our Joshua Williams reporting live in studio tonight. Well, Prime Minister Philip Davis, as he mentioned, and several cabinet ministers spending the afternoon conducting assessments in communities that are still flooded days after Tropical Storm Imelda dumped heavy rain over the weekend. Among the ministers were Works and Family Island Affairs Minister Clay Sweeting and Energy and Transport Minister Jobette Colby Davis. Sweeting and Colby Davis telling reporters this afternoon that their teams have been working tirelessly in the storm's aftermath. The Works Minister says more than 100,000 gallons of flood water have been pumped out of the communities, while the Energy Minister insists that only a few communities remain without power.
We utilize 12 pumps. Large pumps that we've been pumping. We've already pumped over 12 inches of water from Popal Tract and other areas that are on the coastal parts of New Providence. And up to last evening, we was pumped out around 136,000 gallons from the inner city of New Providence, not included today.
There were small amount of clients that were still offline throughout some of the family islands, because some of the storm was still passing over other islands even after it left New Providence. We were able to respond in a large way with our New Providence clients, getting most of them back online and restored with power in less than 24 hours.
Now turning to the north, this as Abaco is back to business tonight after Tropical Storm Imelda spared the northern island from extensive damage. Floodwaters have receded, airports reopened, and residents are counting their blessings. Our Delvardo Emmanuel is still on that northern island tonight and has this update. Delvardo, what can you tell us?
Good evening, Natalia. I'm standing here in downtown Abaco, which looks completely different than it did over the past several days. Cars are back to moving about, businesses and the airport are back up and running, and residents here are grateful the storm is behind them. The storm brought gusty winds and heavy rain that caused some flooding throughout the island, causing some residents to flock to shelters for safety. But after 3 days of rain and wind, the residents here in Abaco are happy the storm is behind them. Treasure Key resident Willa Mae Cooper says she's grateful her home was left untouched. Despite the storm's minimal impact, she says you can never be too prepared.
I guess because we went through Dorian, we never feel like we're over-prepared. I wasn't anyway. I don't have the money to be over-prepared. I don't think there's such thing as over-prepared,
During our drive around the island today, we saw water had dried up at communities that were flooded just the day before. Bahama Palm Shores resident Liz Key says the storm caused only minor inconveniences.
That's about 20 miles south of Marsh Harbor, and we fed out pretty good there. A little bit of wind, rain, but not like what they said we was going to get. Only power went out for about 12 to 14 hours. Yeah, grateful and just glad everybody's okay, and just thank the Lord.
Flooding at the Leonard Thompson International Airport caused flight cancellations yesterday. Today, operations resumed. Airport Authority Managing Director Peter Rutherford says teams were on the ground and ready to go.
This would have been the first time these particular drains would have been tested. So we're going to do our analysis and take a look at how it performed to determine whether we need to bring engineers in to make some additional changes to that airport. But the drains did hold up as expected.
Community leader Pastor Silbert Mills says he believes the quick recovery shows Abaco was far better prepared than in years past.
After Hurricane Dennis, and then immediately 2 weeks later, Hurricane Floyd in 1999. And from then, Abaco has been working its way through the preparedness exercise. And so I don't see it as being anything other than our experience in how to deal with storms that cause us to operate the manner in which we operated this past weekend.
Now, Natalia, I can tell you, after interacting with the residents over the past several days, one word comes to mind: resilience. Live from Marsh Harbor, Abaco, I'm Delvado Emmanuel, sending back to you in the capital.
All right, thanks so much, Delvado. Continue to stay safe. Our Delvado Emmanuel reporting live tonight from the island of Abaco. Well, despite packing powerful punch and hammering in New Providence with strong winds and heavy rain, Tropical Storm Imelda had minimal impact on East Grand Bahama and the entire island. Residents there are telling our news they are happy they were spared the brunt of the storm. Owner of Bishop's Beach Club in High Rock, Reuben Roberts, says he breathed a sigh of relief once the storm passed.
Oh, things turned out beautiful. We escaped this one. We didn't have no water. We didn't have no heavy wind, and thank God. But as far as the hurricane concerned, the rain didn't happen nothing. The wind didn't happen nothing. Everything is in shape.
Former Chief Counselor Nelson McDonald Cooper says he also fared well during the storm. Cooper adds he was well prepared for Imelda as he's been tracking its progress for the last 2 weeks.
So I was kind of very much prepared and expecting what came through. There was a mandatory evacuation that went out that I thought was a bit premature. However, there were persons from my settlement and also from the East End that evacuated. They were more like the elderly people and persons who didn't have their own transportation. We in the East End, the only thing we experienced, myself, a lot of others, right, in Freetown and through to High Rock, was constant light rain. On Saturday, on Sunday, we had a slight increase in the wind.
All right, good news for Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas. And we're going to check in with our meteorologist, Greg Thompson, in about 2 minutes. But first, Prime Minister Philip Davis doubling down on his administration's decision to not allow Haitian nationals to enter the Bahamas to apply for U.S. visas. The PM says the new American policy designating Nassau as a processing site will not change his country's entry rules. The new U.S. policy posted on the State Department's website takes effect on November 1st, and it follows the suspension of routine visa services in Port-au-Prince amid Haiti's worsening instability. Speaking at Monday evening's DRM press conference on Tropical Storm Imelda, Prime Minister Philip Davis responded to the issue, explaining Haitians coming into the country for U.S. visas must come into the country the right way.
We are disproportionately impacted by the issues that impact Haiti, and we cannot take on any more than what we have been forced to take on because of the circumstances of our geography, and that's the position. Insofar as visa, the visa situation with the United States, that's their decision. But for them to come to the Bahamas, they need a visa from our government to let them in, to be able to go to the embassy here to get their visa.
The Prime Minister also says protecting the borders and jobs for Bahamians remain a top priority.
We will be protecting our borders to ensure that we protect Bahamians in this country, to ensure that there's no competition for services and no competition for jobs. And we'll do what it takes to get that done.
And while Tropical Storm Imelda is gone, some flooding still can be seen in the capital, as we saw earlier, and hopefully we don't see any more heavy rain no time soon. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in a weather center with the latest. Greg, hopefully no more rain, as I mentioned.
I'm not going to promise you that. We do have some moisture from Humberto, which is going to combine with Imelda. By Thursday, Friday, we see an increase. We have a break right now, but we can't take any more rainfall. The ground is already saturated, so let's keep the rainfall away. But rain bands are likely to affect us over the next couple of days. 83 degrees is our current temperature on the outside right now with some passing clouds, and it is a bit on the breezy side with west winds at 18 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 92. Imelda pulling away from Abaco. It's basically having some rain bands, very weak ones passing across Grand Bahama and the Abaco area. That will continue to be the trend for tonight, but as that system continues to pull away, most of the moisture will move away from that. And you notice the moisture just to the southeast Bahamas. That's all associated with Humberto, and that, as I mentioned, will combine So we're looking for some showers, not completely out of the woods, but we're not going to see those rainfall totals that we've been seeing for the last couple of days. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us, look at the tropics, and your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, shock and sorrow. PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell remembering the late Environment Minister Von Miller as a man devoted to service. Plus, BPL showing its support. The company making a donation to the Us Two Men's Cancer Support Group as a part of its September health campaign. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Sasha Lightborn here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow all of the R News social media pages to make sure that you don't miss those top stories from the team you already trust.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court Apartment Complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Candino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
My name is Trevor Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area.
Shocking is how Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell is describing Environment Minister Von Miller's sudden death. The 64-year-old died early Sunday morning. Miller was found unresponsive in a car on Mount Royal Avenue near Hawkins Hill just before 1 a.m. Miller was taken by a private vehicle to Doctors Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No foul play was suspected. The PLP chairman telling Our News today that the party is still trying to process its loss.
Well, I think people are mainly stunned by these events. When there's a sudden death, that's the normal reaction of people to a sudden death. And the fact that he was such a prominent political figure, and the fact in particular that he was Justin Eleuthera, speaking up for one of our members of parliament and one of his colleagues, led to the shock of this.
Now, Miller is the second cabinet minister in the Davis administration to die in office this term. Obi Wilshcombe, who was Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, died on September 25, 2023. He was also 64. The PLP chairman declined to comment on the future of the Golden Isle seat and an impending by-election. Mitchell insists it's still a time of mourning.
Now the question is, how do we memorialize him, and what is his legacy? And I think the legacy is pretty clear. He made a principled move, which led to the Progressive Liberal Party ultimately winning his seat and winning the general election in 2021.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
A new youth basketball league launches, the golfers take to the links, and the Bahamas U23 baseball team hits the field in Panama. Our Sports 730 is up next.
Cancer treatment.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court apartment complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct and unfiltered.
Okay.
It's perfect for our viewers who want to stay on top of what's going on.
Well, I want to stay in tune. Are you talking about like recent crimes and political updates and heartfelt stories as well?
Good evening, I'm Tej Adderley, and this is Our Sports at 7:30. A new youth basketball league has ambitious plans to revive Bahamian basketball at the youth level. Powered by Ballin' by the Beach, the Island Basketball League will allow boys and girls from K4 to grade 8 a safe, structured environment to learn the fundamentals of the game and also life skills. The league is founded by Jarrell Mullings and will be led by Mullings and Manny Adderley, as well as several accomplished local basketball coaches, and it will host up to 600 athletes. The league will tip off with the Jamboree on October 9th and will run all through spring. The league has the full backing of the Bahamas Basketball Federation, and if you're interested, you can go to Ballin' by the Beach's website or on their Facebook page and sign up. They have a press conference coming up next week, so we'll be sure to bring you some more on this exciting development. Now we're over to the links where the golfers got after it over the weekend. Two teams, each from Fidelity, Global Sun Integration Management, RBC, and the Central Bank, were able to get in some action before weather shut things down early. A team from Global Sun, consisting of Karima Bowe, Cleveland Musgrove, Larry Wilson, and Christopher Adderley, claimed the team trophy. A team from Fidelity that included Antonio Saunders, Natalie Tynes, Andre White, and Francis Adderley came second. And the second Global Sun team, with Big Mike Wilson, Driscoll Roll, Larry Wilson, and Stephen Johnson, came third. Prizes were also given out to women and men for closest to the cup and longest drive. And down in Panama, the Bahamas U23 baseball team hit the diamond against USVI. Team Bahamas lost their second straight game in the Pan Am U23 pre-qualifier in La Chorrera, Panama, falling 7-2 to the USVI. Keshawn Conliffe scored on a single by Zachary Gibson, and Jaden Cartwright scored on a fielder's choice. Ferron Charlton went 1 for 2 with a single out of the leadoff spot, and Gio Tomlins got the loss on the mound, giving up 4 hits and 4 earned runs in 7 innings. With the loss, they're 0-2 in the tournament. Coach Trey Sweeting tried to look at the positives despite the loss.
I think it was some good in there. Our starting pitcher, Gio, he did a really good job to keep us in that game. We just got to learn how to win on the back end, but that's something that we are just preparing for, and we will work on for the rest of the tournament. What we're going to do is we're just going to go home a little bit, talk about what we did right and what we did wrong, right? Understand that baseball does go a certain way. I think it was a few hits or plays in the field that were just unfortunate that happened from the other team, right? But I think it's about just being able to have a short memory, put it in the back of our heads. It's a tournament, so we've got to be able to come back and be better tomorrow.
They played Aruba today. We'll bring you more on that tomorrow. That is a wrap for our sports at 7:30. I'm Tage Adderley. Have a great evening, everyone.
Still ahead on our news tonight, BPL showing its support. The company making a mega donation to the Us Too Men's Cancer Support Group as a part of its September health campaign. And Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news returns. Stay with us.
NFL season is back, and Cable Bahamas is bringing the action straight to you.
Okay, Zai, let I take it from here. This season, Cable Bahamas is the Bahamas' #1 NFL provider. More games than ever before. With any live fiber infinite bundle, Trio or Trio Plus, you unlock Thursday Night Football, Sunday Ticket in 4K, and every highlight that matters. Just opt in the Sports X for $5 a month.
And don't miss a touchdown. Sign up now.
Watch Thursday Night Football exclusively with Rev and the Live Fiber on channel 747 and 748.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
And I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
This is our news. Welcome back. Two systems pulling away from the Bahamas right now. Imelda, which is closest to us, that basically is strengthening. It's now Category 1 hurricane, the 5 p.m. position, 29.4 degrees north, 75.5 west. Winds up to 80 miles per hour. Its movement is towards the east-northeast at 12 miles per hour, and that system will continue to pull quickly away from us. We also have Humberto, which is up there also, and that system is still a Category 1 storm. Both of these will pull away, but we will continue to see some trailing moisture across the area, and that will lend to some showers. But because Imelda is still close to us, we are still feeling those windy conditions across the northwest Bahamas, likely to fall off by tonight. But the system will continue to produce some very choppy seas, so we're asking you boaters and beachgoers to exercise extreme caution across the Atlantic exposures as the system continues to pull away from us. Swells and large breaking waves will be affecting our area. Taking a look at the future forecast, moisture across the extreme northern islands will stay there, Abaco, Grand Bahama, but some of that will drift back down towards us by Wednesday, and then through Thursday, as I mentioned, we expect both of those moisture plume to combine, bringing some more showers and thunderstorms to the forecast for the end of the week. Boating forecast in the northwest Bahamas, we're asking you boaters really to stay out of the waters, and beachgoers, small craft advisory in effect, west and northwest winds at 15 to 25 knots. Those winds become more northwest and north, 15 to 20. Rough seas 5 to 8 feet, but up to 12 feet along Atlantic exposures. In the central and southeast Bahamas, caution flag few down there. Southwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 7 feet, but they will be higher in some northeasterly swells. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, showers will stay with us throughout the remainder of the week and into the weekend as those moisture plume continues to affect us. But temperatures will be a little on the comfortable side. We should not see those 90s, but upper 80s during the daytime, upper 70s at night. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the Us Two Men's Cancer Support Group got a much-needed financial boost this week thanks to a $1,000 donation from Bahama's Power and Light. This donation is a part of the company's September Social Corporate Responsibility Initiative, which focuses on prostate cancer awareness. BPL's Chief Operating Officer Anthony Christie says this initiative builds on BPL's ongoing investment in staff health and wellness. He insists getting regular checkups is key.
As men grow older, their prostate does enlarge, and it needs to be checked periodically. So I encourage all men, in particular BPL staff, to go get your checks. It's not as we thought in the past where they have to do the so-called finger test. This is less invasive. They use the blood test now to determine if you are impacted or will be affected. And again, do your research.
Us Two surviving member Valentine Morris says with so many Bahamian men impacted, their work is vital and funding is always appreciated.
We express our sincere gratitude to the BPL company for making our job a little bit easier, because there are a lot of things that we have to provide for that requires funding. Yes. So we appreciate this, and we're glad you guys step forward and helping us as much as possible.
Such a great story. Of course, if you want to see that story again, it's available now at ournews.bs. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
Hi, and thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already trust.